Mic check 1 2 1 2.
1 2.
Ricky. Welcome back to the other side of the
Bullshit.
oh,
I got a
harmonizing.
little range too. It sounds better in the shower, but you know.
Won't be there harmonizing with him.
Actually, you've been in the shower with me.
I know. Me too.
I know.
I will FaceTime you to death in there. Oh, you saw titty? My bad. Anyway, this episode is called I Hate You, Jody.
I hate you, Jody.
I hate you too.
Oh, making some tacos. I'm a cook. I'm a clean.
But I'm a clean. He sounds just like her.
That's my movie.
But yeah, I do like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, let me start by saying,
thank you. I forgot to start. And I hate that. Do y'all hate that? Do y'all hear this Serena does that? Every time you hear some high range smacking, it ain't me.
It's me. That's a smacker.
So annoying. Go ahead.
You just did it.
I drank water. And it wasn't like a need for a smack. It was like more like a continue.
Anywho,
I'm going to.
I absolutely love Baby Boy. By the way, it's like one of my favorite movies for so many reasons.
You love Tyrese too?
No, I think Tyrese is dope. But the movie itself, like, it's just so many parts to the movie. I can resonate with, like, I feel a lot of that stuff. But
Can I tell you what I feel the absolute most?
what you feel?
That mother being out in her garden,
Yeah.
not trying to hear it, listening to her smooth grooves, smoking on her ganja. I might have put that part, but minding her whole entire black business and not, I don't know, child, to what he was talking about. That's your problem. Where my big old man at?
You are definitely there now.
Yeah,
You are definitely
I'm
there
so
now.
there.
You are there now.
I'm there. I'm there. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this episode talks about relationships, relationship issues.
What's that? Don't nobody be having no relationship issues.
I mean, I know we don't.
I know we don't.
No, we don't.
I
have
don't.
issues.
You don't.
Nah, we just be growing and glowing.
Hurting.
Yeah.
You like a rose through the concrete.
But I can say to you, I love marriage. Like for us, I know people say, I hate you, Jody, but I'm happily married. I've enjoyed marriage. Me and Michael have been married for it'll be 5 years on April 20th. We're gonna celebrate our 5-year anniversary. Woo! Yes, and we've known each other for it'll be 8 years. So we got married on the day that we met. So on our anniversary, it'll be 8 years that we've known each other, 5 years that we've been married. And it's been great. We hear all these things about marriage and Lord, I mean, for me, I hear more negative things in like social media and stuff about marriage, the messiness of marriage. And don't get me wrong, marriage can be messy, but it's also beautiful, So I've definitely enjoyed marriage, the person that I've become, in my marriage.
You learn a lot about yourself.
Yes, you learn a lot about yourself. And I think that's not talked enough about too.
Yeah.
The fact that
Because people might not be growing in their marriage.
Right. But like really, when you think about it, marrying your mate should really help you to become your best person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure when you're spending every single day with this person, like every day in, day out, they can see things about you that other people can't see.
That you can't see.
Right? So when that starts to happen, I would say that's when some of the challenges kind of come in, because sometimes we don't want to be confronted with ourselves. Like,
No.
I don't need you to tell me nothing about myself.
Nope.
Perfectly fine.
And I ain't gonna ever change. So why you worry about it? Lies.
Right.
Fontaine notices the things about me that I have no idea, like the dumbest stuff. Like, you like chairs, huh? What's that supposed to mean? You like chairs. Not like sets of chairs. You just like a chair. Like you like, oh, I love that chair, one chair. And I'm like, oh. Or when I go in Zara, I touch every single thing in there. I do. Do I buy it? Usually not. Do I want to? Usually not. I was just tapping my foot, sorry. But he noticed that I do that. I'm like why? It'd be like the randomest. You know, like, stop watching me.
I was just about to say, how does that make you feel about being like noticed and watched? Because I know how I feel about it. I'm curious how you feel about it.
I feel a little bit loved. I'm a newlywed.
I feel a little bit loved. You're so cute.
Oh, we've only known each other for 5 years total this month. Like, actually, Serena reminded me of our anniversary of knowing each other. Now we have 2 wedding anniversaries, so it's not nearly as important, but it is, because that changed my whole life. It does. So, in the beginning, I was like very off-put by the amount of attention. Because you're not showing me the attention I want you to. You're not like, ooh, girl, look at your booty, ooh, 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 oh, like that, right? It's more like deep down stuff, and that's the stuff I'm not comfortable with, versus you like, oh, hey girl, you looking good, and I'm like, I know, and it's hard. But he notices that stuff like deep down on the inside and started to bubble that up, and I'm sure he was looking for a cover to the pot. But he teaches me a lot about myself. He's not allowed to listen to this episode, but really, I never teach me nothing. But like a lot about myself as far as just things that I just like never noticed. Or he'll be like, oh baby, you always be like, or you know, or you know what he told me about myself? I'm not a bitch.
I remember my conversation. I love that conversation.
That is, oh God. I was feeling down. I was feeling mighty.
If you don't know where that came from,
then turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Just go.
Turn it off.
Just go.
And that goes for you, Zoe Lee Martinez. I quoted my sister Ebony Jacobs could be a better mother when it comes to teaching her about the color of the purple. I quoted the color purple, and she was like, Medea. I said, cancel. Turn the movie on, girl. I know. I was like, I've never watched it's like, shout out to Tyler Perry. But it's a difference between that was the color purple. Anyway, no, it was very, I used to talk to myself in bad language. I'm a bitch. Oh, even like I'm a bad bitch. All these things that I was not put into a box. I'm very gingerly George Jefferson up in the box of this is who I am. I'm sorry. This is who I am. Sorry to make me take my bracelet off. She's jealous because I'm cute.
That is a cute bracelet though.
That keep clinking the daggone table. But you know, I was very much in the box of this is who I am, this is who I'm gonna be. I don't care. And even as going back to the other episode as far as with work, you know, when we first met, he's like, oh, you work a lot. I'm like, how do you think I pay my bills? This is me. This is who I'm going to be. And I'll be making breakfast and lunch and dinner every morning and taking a snack and making coffee. Like, I love you, boy. And all kinds of stuff. And I don't know who that person is. And when I say, oh, you don't know who I used to be and stuff, he said, no. He says, no, I don't. I only know you as this person. It's not like they're different people or I fake and shake with him. Never. It's my growth is so influenced by the good person that he is. Ooh. Fire on my belly. That's a nice man right there.
He is.
He's a nice man.
He really is.
He's a good person.
Yes.
You know, he's a really good person. I always say that about my dad. My dad is a hell of a dad, but he's a really good person. And they're very similar to each other. They get on my nerves, and they are the best of friends. But you know, they accept me for who I am, and that's the good, the bad, the ugly. And I always be like, I hated you when, and he be like, I never hated you, babe. I'm like, you never hate me, like, and he's like, no.
I think that's so weird because Michael does the same thing. I'll be like, I know when I get on your nerves. He'll be like, but you don't get on my nerves. I'm like, how? Because you be getting on
nerves. My nerves.
Like,
jump.
see my nerves. like, you don't get on my nerves. I'm like, how is that even possible?
Because their nerves are different.
Mm.
And that's why, that's like, we hear differently, we feel differently, we see differently, like all kinds of stuff. I can fluctuate my weight. I don't fluctuate. I don't know when down 25 pounds. Not now. And he's like, oh, I think it's true. That was fat and ugly. But he'll be like, babe, you look beautiful to me. I don't notice. And then if I push, he like, you want me to notice your weight? You don't want me to notice your weight going up and down. That's not. And I'm like, no, my brother, you. All right. You didn't even notice I got a new shirt. Do you really want me to notice that you got it? Nope, because I be having new shirts every day. Nope. So I'll put on something old, and then that's when he's like, oh, is that new? Mm-hmm. It's just, sometimes I, like, hate you, Jody.
Yeah.
But not in like a, kind of way, but in a hate you, Jody way. And again, if you don't know what that is, you're watching the wrong, you're listening to the wrong genre, but it's like, just a very, what is that? Is that tolerance? Is that man-woman? Is that, tolerance or man-woman? Like, what is it?
I don't know if it's tolerance or man-woman, but I can tell you in the, regarding the I hate you, Jody, the sentiment and feeling behind that is really I love you.
I know.
It's really I love you, and my love for you, my undying, unshakable, unmovable love for you is what's gonna keep me from choking you. Yeah. I love you so much.
It's true.
It's like,
true.
Yeah.
So it's that thin line.
Yes, it really, really is. And for me, I can say I've never had that before.
I know I didn't. Because what I said last episode, I let it burn. You got to go. We gonna go on a Bon Voyage cruise. Right. And when we get back,
you know.
What?
You know me.
Oh, God.
You know me.
Ooh, Serena would cut it. Cut it out. You don't know what that's from?
I know it, but I can't remember it. You know?
Full House.
Thank you. Okay, I know it with my brain. I can only say so much, but yeah, it's so true.
I know he was living it right. Yep. I know more.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's over.
Yeah.
I wake up, literally. I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know it's a testament, bruh. For real, because.
Yeah, but that type of love, that right there. Yeah, I've never experienced that before, and I absolutely love it. Sometimes in the
every
moment,
day.
No, sometimes in the moment, girl. In the moment, it be like.
That was like a balloon,
right? Like
that beautiful balloon that was flowing, and now it's like.
But to know, and that's the thing too. I want to go back to what you were saying about Fontaine and him being a good person, and you having these moments with him. I believe that's why it's so important when dating, courting, engaged, all that time. You really build up that bank. I would say of all these moments, because when you in the moment and you sit
it's
here,
the foundation.
The foundation.
I said that a million times when we were having our talks. It's the foundation, So if you've never communicated and you've always done activities for your dating, you never sat and asked about your childhood. You never sat and asked about your triggers. You never sat and had conversations about the muck. Then when that stuff comes to, you only see the good in the person. Because y'all had a good time at the concert. Y'all had a good time go-karting and, like on vacation and all that stuff. It's kind of like The Bachelor. It's like, but then when you get to life and you get out of these false scenarios and the beauty of it all, I felt like me and Fontaine were trying to scare each other away. Every conversation. What about this? Well, I'm going to do you one better. Well, and the other one was like, oh, all right. No, that's not, you're like, what about this then? What about this? It was all very much laying cement and trying to write in it. But we just kept fixing it for each other. Like, come on now, stop, man. You don't gotta do all that. So we just laid like this really good foundation, which is why when we have a hiccup or we see that we are starting to carve stuff in our cement, I especially and him continuously will say, this ain't it. Okay? Like, I ain't gonna be fake for nobody. We not gonna be cute all up on the Instagram, all brown and stuff. This black love BS. I'm not. No. Nope. I won't post a picture forever.
I was gonna ask. So funny you said that.
And it's not even like, don't be on my page like,
right, they must have been going through something. Like
yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah,
you can't ever. You can't ever.
You
can't ever.
But I feel you with that though.
But I'm not going to be fake for nobody.
Yeah,
I'm not going to your mom's house. I don't want to hear about your job. I don't care. I don't care. We're not going to my dad's. Don't call my dad. Don't talk at me. Don't look at me. If we're not right, then nothing else is right. And I'm not trying to kick it. And I'm not faking a phone for nobody.
Yeah.
Come up on my time hopping. It was cute. I'm crop you out. Sorry, I'm never going to do that. But, you know, because our foundation and our everything is based on communication and trying to understand each other and get us to a better place and not going into our old habits. Because we are two Sagittariuses, okay? Who when we met both said we was LeBron. I'm LeBron now. I'm LeBron. No, I'm LeBron. No, I'm LeBron. And now we constantly be trying to be weird. Like, where we going? You know, you got it. And not like a mean way, but like a, you know, but when it gets to, when we have that communication breakdown, it's like, I always feel like, then we're gonna, this ain't gonna work. Cause I don't understand why you don't understand why I didn't say, bring me the chocolate with crunch on it. Do I eat chocolate crunch? You don't even know me, my God.
Okay, now, okay. That's good you said. That's good you said that because me and Michael have it, but it's the opposite. He knows all about me, like everything. Like, and I know, but I still be like, you know, like just recently he was pissed because I made him a meal. He was happy about the meal, but he like, yo, you ain't give me like enough sauce. Like, you know I like the sauce. I struggled eating that meal, and then I went in the microwave and said, why she got all the sauce in here? I needed more sauce on my stuff. And I was like,
why can't you just ask for more sauce?
Now that's what I said. You should have just asked me if we had more sauce because we did.
We've had situations like that before. How am I supposed to know you're joking?
But, right. But he made a good point. So I tasted the sauce and didn't think it tasted that great. So which is why I didn't load it on there.
Okay.
But he like, just give me the sauce. And I'm thinking, but it didn't taste that great because you're not going to load your sauce. And you be like, oh, the whole dish is ruined, you know. So it's just those little things.
Now you put it on the side.
Right. Like those things. But it's so funny you said that because you like, we
mad little stuff. Bro.
Yes.
One day my sister was like, we had to have known each other for, I don't know, it might have been the first or second time we went to my dad's. I asked this man, do you want a piece of cake? I'm serious about my food. If it's like chocolate chips, if it's like chocolate, I'm gonna be a real jerk. I've learned through life, like, you can't be greedy about food. Like, it's just not okay. But I struggle. Anyway, we were like brand new relationship. I asked him if he wanted cake. He said, no, I don't want cake. I come back with my cake, mine, and he like, oh, Cass, I was like, but I asked you when it was a lot. Like, I saved this piece with the corner in the corner with the extra chocolate chips for myself. I was like, okay. And so he was like, no, don't worry about it. But I was giving it to him. I said, no, I'm gonna save you something. I don't save nobody no kind of cake with chips on it. And so I went to give it to him. He's like, no, I'm alright. I was like, no. I said I was gonna share with you.
Right, now you have to eat this cake.
Yeah, so now you have to eat the cake. He was like, I don't want the cake. So you wanna embarrass me in front of my dad's house? In front of my sister to be disrespectful and not eat the cake? Anime, eat the cake!
Okay.
Yo, we had like this whole argument on the way home. I don't know what we was arguing about. it was the cake, and I'm like, I'm trying to give you like my last piece of food, like we in that Black People movie. After you asked me and I didn't want to give it to you, and you're not accepting it. It's like, this is my heart on a plate with chips on it. Why you ain't gonna eat it? You already asked me for it. Oh God. When I called my sister, like, yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now. She was like, are you joking? About that cake? Yo, y'all stupid as hell. Y'all in love. Y'all in love about the cake. To this day, I will tell my sister something I think is dead ass serious. Because I'm not playing with him like that, yo. I'm not playing with him. She be like, please. Who playing that?
Right.
It's so we be real, like, mad dramatical Sagittarius household. What is the dumbest argument you had either in marriage or
the dumbest argument we had? I don't know. See, I don't think none of them dumb. They all be real.
growth?
Right. They all be real to me. But I think for us, it's just like, I can tell you what has happened. The little stuff becomes the big stuff because we don't talk about it when it's little stuff. You know? So so by the time it gets to like an argument stage, it's big, but it's stupid. Because it's just a bunch of little stuff that we should have just communicated to each other to just get it out the way. Because most times, it's so funny how when you finally get it out, you be like, oh damn, I ain't mean to leave off your sauce, or you know, I ain't mean for you to feel this is personally against you. I don't even be knowing. You know,
I said I didn't like socks. I didn't know you had some on and you cared that I said I didn't like them. They make me feel claustrophobic. I wasn't saying that you clingy. I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, like the little stuff adds up to the big stuff. So what we are doing is really working on that. Like the little stuff. Just be like, look.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because for me, and I was very adamant about this, like in the beginning of our relationship, is that it will breed resentment.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't want to wake up in my house one day and we don't like each other. That's a huge thing for me, is the liking part.
Yeah.
The liking part, the liking part, the liking part. My favorite thing to say to my husband is, you're my best friend. You're my best friend. And when I don't feel like that, and if I don't even feel like you're my friend, that's a hard comeback for me. Mm-hmm. And this relationship is the first relationship I've had to come back.
Did you want your collar up like that on the side?
I'm looking a little crooked.
I mean, this is side. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right. So, okay.
Bam.
I'm sorry I didn't cut you off.
That's all right. I don't know what I'm talking about because...
About being a friend. If you feel like you're not your friend.
Yeah. He gotta be my friend. That's my friend. That's my partner. That's my teammate. That's my ace. That's my... Like, so when we're not right again, I'm not trying to hear nothing. Okay? So it's really like if you got a problem, say you got a problem. Like, I can handle the problem. Like, I can't handle silence. I can't handle you treating me different and I know it's something and you're not verbalizing that. I can't take me not being able to communicate and tell you what's wrong. And so now I'm sitting in this. Just when we first met, I'm like, why you got this? Why you always put a plate with food in the sink? It's disgusting. Why you don't use paper towel instead of a dish rag? It's disgusting. Why you don't, it took him, he's like, yo, what is wrong with you? First of all, I lived by myself for a really long time. Yeah. And two, and this is like a full circle thing. We go to my dad's house and we'll cook at my dad's, and he sees how my dad come in the kitchen like, or talk trash when somebody cooks, like, stinking old fish. I don't know. And then one day he's like, oh, her dad is kitchen crazy. This is why she's like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the time, I'm like, I'm not gonna not tell you. I don't care if it's 50 things a day. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna not tell you. And then one day, like, freak out, and it's because you keep leaving food in the sink. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Not sorry. No. And so now it's like very easy, and now he accepts it differently too. Mm-hmm. Before he thought I was picking on him. Now he's like, oh, I don't know, child. Bye, girl. He would be like,
Now that's a good thing. The point you brought up about now that he knows the root of it.
And that it's harmless, and I'm not teasing him and picking on him and trying to upset him and all that. It's just like, I'm just a little picky lady.
Yeah.
A little picky woman.
Ooh, I know. I moved the table on.
Oh, I didn't know what just happened there. I thought you was having a stroke.
No.
You said you moved my table?
I haven't done it since.
Let me tell you something about Serena. She gets overtly comfortable
In other people's faces.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Talk about boundaries.
I do.
My baby daddy, we was like 15, 16 years old. We was at his house. His sister was away at college. She came home. Shout out to Nikki. I didn't buy her boyfriend's house. But she came home one day and Serena's like in their freezer getting ice cream.
Yeah.
And she still thinks 30 years later that this is okay. You thought that was okay?
I did.
You thought?
Like, I mean, I couldn't ask nobody because y'all.
Did you ask him? Because y'all wasn't. Child, listen. I don't know what she about to say. Listen. How you put one of them things, Tally? Man. But the TV be on too long before the American flag come on. She was bored, so she was eating some ice cream.
I did.
Well, we wasn't really gonna talk about that. We was talking about how Serena came to my house and moved my table. You know, if you got a rug, back in the day I had a rug. If you got the indentations from where your stuff belong. You know what I'm saying? I come out the back and my table was moved and she all slouched down like she done paid a bill with her feet up on my coffee table and my coffee table moved. I did.
No, my feet wasn't on the coffee table. I was actually on the floor sitting, so I moved it a little bit so I could be more comfortable.
Serena Nicole Williams, Deuce. That, you can remember everything you want to remember. That is a whole entire effing lie. You straight up was on my couch like.
It's possible.
No, it's factual.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I was about to lose my crap.
I think it. I did.
Please. Resentment.
I don't remember, but I did.
Resentment.
I believe her.
But I used to do that to my boyfriend at the time, which is now my husband. He would like move stuff in the house. Like he lived there. And I'd be like, he'd be like, no. And he like I feel like I can't, you can't. I love you.
I feel like with the friendship though, like the friendship is very important to me. The friendship is the most important. Like, we went to a thing last weekend before, like this nice arts thing in Philly. We had a great time. We was just there, vibing. And I just looked over him and was like, yo, you my favorite person. Like,
gotta be.
Yeah, So even when, I hate you, Jody. He's still my favorite person.
It don't help. It helps. We husband fine.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It does help.
Tremendously. You can watch it walk into the room, out of the room. Okay. If you don't know that.
Around the room.
Okay. And then it's like, I wasn't really that bad anyway. Jody.
I'm gonna make these tacos.
I know. You hungry?
I'm gonna make these tacos.
You wanna eat? Or you come out of something scantily classy, so you could just get the attention and the look that you need. My husband be like, he says, hey, then I'm still mad then. And then later I find out like, yeah, let me tell you something. You didn't think I was looking good when I was looking. I'm like, oh, okay, I knew it worked. It better work. Once it stops working.
No, not Michael. I can't walk around at all. I get groped all day long.
Like, yeah? Do you have a problem with that?
No, I enjoy it.
Oh.
I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, it's weird if he doesn't. Like, something's wrong. Something's wrong if you're not like in me.
See, she breastfed children. It's
not good.
I would need you to cuddle me, then back up.
Oh, cuddle me.
I'm hot. I'm hot.
Oh no, the heat at night is crazy. No.
Oh yeah, I need to get me one of those blankets still. I don't care if it's April. I'm gonna do it.
A heated blanket?
Mm-hmm. I know. He said they come over here with that. Sometimes it feels so good, like wrapped on your body, but not as much as your husband. So, question. When it comes to, we're going to say arguments, because arguments are healthy. When it comes to arguments and disagreements, are you a fight or a flight? Like, what's your argument style?
That's a great question. So, I used to be flight, for sure. Like, I would avoid an argument at all costs with anybody in general. Just because I didn't like it. You know, it was never modeled in a healthy way to me growing up. So I really was never taught the tools, you know, to do it. So
fight fair.
Yeah. So it was just, for me, it was all avoidance. So I would avoid it at all costs. I've learned in my marriage that it's not healthy. Cause like I said before, you know, I pack up and move and they be like, where'd she go? Like they don't even know I'm leaving. You know, or they don't know they're leaving. It's just like, I'm done. There was no communication about it, nothing. So I've learned in my marriage that I can't be flight because it's unfair to both of us. And I've learned to fight. And I've also learned to fight fair. I'm still learning it, you know, to fight fair, and to not be afraid of my voice. I used to also feel like I didn't want to hurt the other person's feelings by expressing what it is that you know, what was going on, whether they did something to me, how they made me feel.
I was going to ask you that. Is it the things that you could say to crush them? Because I always think about that after. Or is it, I should have said, or is it how you feel, which is valid, whether they agree or not, and whether it's just a feeling or fact or not? I was going to ask you, clarify, but I was going to ask you, is it your feelings that you're scared to express to them, or your feelings about them that you were, you know, that you didn't want to express?
Yeah, it used to be more so mine than theirs. Now, I'm going to give you all of it. Yeah, I'm going to give you all of it. And, you know, I found that it's been very helpful because, again, for me, like I would sit in it. So I would sit in my stuff. And how you were talking about resentment, I never want to feel resentful. You know, there was a time, not in my marriage, thank God, where I didn't feel like this, but I was feeling resentful in another relationship. And I did something that I talk to y'all about all the time and say, if I ever feel like that, I know I got to leave. You know, the dirty spoon and the dirty plate. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell that story, but
you wasn't working at the restaurant.
I wasn't working at a restaurant, I'll tell you that.
I know.
But yeah, so I never want to feel that.
Yeah.
Again, especially to my best friend, especially to my partner.
That's how I feel if we're not speaking in the house.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can't. The silence kills me. You know, for a day or whatever, you get to watch your show,
right.
paint your nails, and then I don't even want a day. Give me 2 hours to be by myself. But then after that, we need to talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't like the tension. And the lack of communication. I don't like that.
But I know, so what I'm learning now to say is that there's something I want to address, but I don't have the words right now, but I want to talk about it. Because before, I didn't have the words, and I wouldn't talk about it, and it would seem as though I'm giving you the silent treatment, when I'm really not giving you the silent treatment. I just don't have the words. And
I've learned to accept that because my husband is similar. Like, he needs time. I don't need time. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm
not. No, you said it. No, that's what you said. No, so that's what you said. So no.
Yeah.
And I'm a big, no, that's what you said. And he'll say but what I meant was, and I'm like, oh, so you backtracking. And it's like, no, you didn't understand what I said. So I'm clarifying for you what I meant. And for me, I'm always like, you backpedaling. Now I'm at you. You come outside then. And it's like, no, I don't need to come outside. I'm just telling you.
And that's how y'all are
not
too.
What I was saying. But that's not how we've always have been. But now we're getting there.
Okay.
But that's not how we've always been. It's like I said what I said. Oh, well, why you backtracking? I ain't backtracking. Oh, yes you did. Because no, I didn't. That's how it was.
Okay.
And I mean, once again, that's what you said. You know, but now we're now he's learning that I'm not trying to trip him up and trick him up. And I'm learning that give a man a break. You wanted to be a lawyer, then you should have took your ass to the courthouse.
Would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, then I would have,
Lawyer,
I would
private
have
eye,
prosecutor,
police,
police,
all of that.
sheriff, DEA, TSA.
Yes,
Sounding like the pigs, the feds over here. But I would have never looked up like people. It's like, just kidding. Not the cute boys. It's like, I was gonna be a CO. Another story for another life. Thank you to all the CEOs that I knew that was like, who, you? Nah, you gonna get jammed up. No, I would not have. But, what were we talking about? Ding-a-ling-a-ling! Bring her back!
You're saying about now, like y'all are able to communicate better.
We definitely
You don't have to
are.
prosecute you. You give them a break.
I, you know what? And I shouldn't even say like give him a break. I will accept what he's saying and accept for him telling me what he meant versus badgering him to death. I was a sick badgerer, and he was like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. That statement to me is fighting words. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. What? You ain't got to tell me nothing. But in actuality, it's like, because I've already tried to tell you what I meant, and you are continuing to spin this narrative, and you spinning the narrative, queen. In actuality, I'm just not accepting what you're telling me. Because I heard it some way that triggered me and made me feel a type of way. And so then now I'm going to make you own that. When that's not what you meant.
You heard it the way you heard it. That's a good statement.
Yeah.
Because we do hear, like, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I've started, like, at one point I started recording our conversations, like our arguments, because I'm like, you said it. I didn't say that. And I'm like, wait, hold on, I got it right here, because we do hear things sometimes.
How many times did you listen to it and be like,
Not many.
yes, you do. the perfect.
Not
Let me take my own
many.
diminished ass.
But yeah, I started doing that because I noticed that was happening to me for sure. Like I was hearing it away, but also too, I'm now learning when I was not on the other side, when I was back there, I did hear with different ears, and I heard different things.
Trauma ears.
Yeah.
Trauma ears, scarred, cursed. You talked to something in your spirit. It brought up demons and all kinds of stuff. I know. It's so interesting. Serena and I both did. Serena actually referred it. Program. We can shout them out. The marriage thing.
Oh, Blam.
Yeah. It was so good. It's so good. It's so good and so needed as like a tune-up, you know? Because I just feel like if everything's going good in your relationship, and that's usually the case with us. And I think that's why it's when it's like we fall off a little bit, it'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, because we're usually so good that sometimes it's just like, but why you don't understand? And that program really helped us to be able to see that I got some raggedy ass body, like, my face don't be right. And just so many things about ourselves, and then giving each other the opportunity to talk and be heard, and then ask questions after, because we both felt like, one time he questioned me, and I went off. I don't know why I went off like that. I can't remember what it's about. When he he probably don't remember. I went off, and I just couldn't understand. But through that program, I was like, I don't like people questioning it.
Yeah, Blam is Black Love and Marriage. They have a Facebook page, and that's where I actually found them, on Facebook. And they were doing a connection challenge. That was the challenge. It was a connection challenge. to help you connect with your partner, because they say a lot of times it's not a communication issue, it's a connection issue. And a lot of people don't feel connected, and I know for me that's major, and I learned a lot from that as well. Because for me, if I don't, I as a trauma response growing up, I disconnected so that I wouldn't be hurt. So that's where my flight came from. So for me to not feel hurt, I would disconnect so I feel nothing, which is totally against who I am at the core of me, because connection is what feeds me. Connection is what gives me life. I need to feel connected. So it was like I felt like I was helping myself by disconnecting, but I was really hurting myself and my partner because I'm disconnected. Like I'm straight, I ain't feeling nothing.
But that leads to exactly what they say, which is relationship work is personal work. And shout out to y'all, because y'all helping marriages and just keeping it so real.
Yes.
Yo. And you know, husbands, I don't call him me heavy. He's like man with man. He ain't trying to hear nothing. But the fact that you guys are so transparent and just you give your sides. Like, you know, so you got tits on that. You know what I mean? It was like, but it helped us. It really, really helped us. So the transparency of your relationship is appreciated. For sure. It helped us see so much stuff in our relationships. And shout out to our husbands for even agreeing. I know I told Fontaine that night, like, we got to do this. And we did 3 that night, you know. So shout out to them for even being open and wanting to grow in our relationship.
Right, participating, like actively participating, and like use the tools and do the work.
Yeah,
you had homework, you know, you had to do activities. So it was great, and it definitely helped us as well. We learned that is where we have to stay. Like, we have to stay connected. And now, I would say the hiccups aren't as bad. You know, like, or we can recognize them quicker and be like, all right, this is what we need to do.
It's a burp.
Yeah, a burp.
All right, come on. Bye. Sorry. You know, it's not like, you know, it's, listen, if and when you find your person, it ain't that easy to take out the trash. You be walking too. Okay? It make me want to be an episode of Sisters That Kill. I love them. But make you want to be on an episode. But, you know, at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you in your relationship. And the I Hate You, Jody is like really funny to people who get it. And you can really grow. And of course, we're not talking about no abusive relationships, physical, emotional, physical, and all that good stuff. But it's just like sometimes you don't be liking your husband sometimes. And that's okay.
It's okay.
That's all right.
It is.
You know, you love him, and some days and weeks and months, that gotta be enough. The fear of the clink gots to be enough. Make that food, no extra ingredients.
Make sure the dishes you serving on are clean.
Right? Because you know what? There's another side to that. There is the other side of the bullshit for that. It goes for so many things and so many life. How about that? It just goes for life. It's always the other side of the bullshit. I'm very much a speed bump girl. Like, you can see it coming, you get over it, it be in your rear view in no time. It's just something that you have to go through. That's all. So, one day we're gonna have our husbands up here, probably season 8.
Season 8.
Something like that.
But shout out to them. You know, it's I love seeing you in this space with your husband.
I got a husband.
You got a husband.
And I like him.
You do like him.
I do.
And I absolutely love it. I've seen the growth in you with your husband. You know what I mean? Since you've met him. I saw the growth up until then, and then from then to now. I'm just like, I'm so grateful that you have a partner to do life with.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
I'm so grateful for that, because you deserve that. You know.
I do.
You do.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You know what's funny? What's not funny, it's actually very sad, is when we first got together, because we're so good together, we thought that we were only put together that one of us was going to get sick and like die or something, and that we were going to, that's so sad, and that we were only here because we're both the people we are in our houses and our families. We just thought that this is too good. We have to be being put together to just take care of each other till the other one die. That is so sad. But we are on the other side of that too, and know that we are being rewarded for the life that we gave our children and still try to, and that everything that we do for the world, we now do for each other. For the world, I say that like we ain't talking about like 10 people, but
That's the world.
that's our world,
Right.
you know, and all of our sacrifices and everything we had to do and be, and now we just be, man. We just be. It's so, I've never been so content with somebody who get on my nerves so goddamn bad. I really like my husband. I really, 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 really like him. It's really funny. It's really funny. I never thought that would be the case. Stop smiling at me like that. God damn. Y'all don't understand. I've dated. I've lived my life.
Yes, you did, girl.
And I know what's on the other side, and I don't like those. I was engaged. I broke that job off like 6 months before the invitations was out and stuff. It's good to be true to me.
Yeah.
To be true to me.
Yeah.
I didn't care what it looked like. I knew what I knew there was another side.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be over that side.
Yeah, no.
You
I
know?
agree.
It was a conscious effort. I made a conscious love effort. Like we both really put in the work, and so if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. You know how I be ending the episodes, girl.
Do what you feel.
I don't know, child. You want to work, do the work. You don't want to do the work, don't do the work. I want to tell you about the work we be doing, because sometimes I don't want to do the work either. So listen here, do what you want to do.
Yeah, but that is true. That saying that relationship work is personal work. You got to do the work on yourself.
Yeah.
For real. I would
Come
tell you.
100.
Yeah, come 100. Like, and that's the thing that I want to touch on too about doing work on yourself before you get into a relationship. Because once you get in that relationship, you still got to do work.
Yeah.
But hopefully you've done enough work up until that point where you're starting from a very close proximity to where you are. You know what I mean? You're not starting from age 10 trauma and now you're 40 and, you know,
somebody else gotta help you unpack all that.
Right. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then so be it. You know, preferably your partners. But to help yourself and help your relationship, please try to do that self-work before you get into a relationship. Or not. Every time.
Listen, I'm literally like, I don't know, child. That's my life. Like, I don't want to be, hey, y'all ain't no expert. You ain't perfect.
We not experts.
Relationship. And you right.
We not experts, but I'm just
You
telling
right, girl.
what worked for us. And some of it might work for you.
And what worked for each other ain't work for each other. So, I mean, at the end of the day,
Take what you want
yeah, we only talking.
and leave the rest.
Right. So if you need a friend,
Want a friend?
lost a friend,
Come on in.
sit in.
We here.
Y'all here?
Are you here?
We was gonna talk anyway.
Right.
Bye, y'all. Join us next week for episode we don't know yet. Catch you later. Why I always gotta get up? You gonna get up?
You get up this time. I got up.
No, you didn't.
Last time I did get up.
She just don't want y'all to see she got a stain on her shirt.
Oh, it's cute though. Look.
It is really cute.
God is dope.
Him is.
Word is bottom.
You almost out the chair.
Am I?
I'm gonna stop this one.
Okay. And I'm gonna show my shirt.
And I made her get up. 2:30. That is not bad.